After the age of 50, something subtle but incredibly dangerous begins to unfold inside the body, something most people don't even notice until it's already caused significant damage. I'm talking about sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. It creeps in slowly, like a thief in the night, and robs you of your strength, your energy, and eventually your independence. The most shocking part: many people over 50 are doing what they believe is everything right. They're eating enough protein, trying to stay active, maybe even lifting weights, and yet they continue to lose muscle year after year. Now, this isn't just about looking lean or strong. Muscle is your body's engine. It's responsible for mobility, metabolic health, injury prevention, blood sugar regulation, and even brain function. So when you lose muscle, you don't just become physically weaker, you become biologically older. And here's where it gets even more critical. Traditional advice tells us to simply eat more protein to fight this off, but that's only half the picture. Protein is essential, yes, but without the right internal conditions, especially the right mineral balance, the body can't properly use that protein. It's like trying to fuel a car with premium gas when the engine is broken. The fuel is good, but it won't make the car move. You see, after 50, the body begins to absorb nutrients less efficiently. Gut health often deteriorates. Digestive enzymes decline. Even if you're eating well, your body might not be breaking down or utilizing those nutrients effectively. And when it comes to muscle, that becomes a huge problem, because every step of muscle growth, from the signaling of muscle repair to the rebuilding of muscle fibers, requires very specific minerals to take place. These minerals are the activators. Without them, it's like flipping a light switch with no electricity in the wires. Here's something most people don't realize. Mineral deficiencies don't always show up with obvious symptoms at first. You might not feel sick. You might not even feel tired, but your muscles will tell the story. They'll stop responding to workouts. Recovery will slow down. Injuries will become more frequent. And worst of all, you'll think this is just part of getting older. But it's not. It's not inevitable. It's biochemical, and the worst part, you can be eating plenty of high-quality protein, chicken, eggs, even shakes, and still not build muscle, because if you don't have the mineral foundation, that protein can't be turned into tissue. It just passes through, or worse, gets converted into glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis, which actually raises blood sugar levels. So not only are you not building muscle, but you might also be sabotaging your metabolic health at the same time. This is the part of the conversation that's been missing in the mainstream narrative. The older you get, the more strategic you have to be, not just in what you eat, but in how your body uses what you eat. That's where minerals become the missing link, because while protein is the structure, minerals are the blueprint and the builders. They direct where the nutrients go. They activate the enzymes that trigger muscle repair. They regulate the hormones that tell your body whether it's in a growth state or a breakdown state. So if you're over 50 and you feel like your workouts aren't giving you the results they used to, if you feel like you're eating healthy but your body's not changing, if you're watching muscle slowly fade despite your efforts, it's not your fault. You're not broken, but you are missing something, and that something isn't more protein. It's the minerals that unlock its power. When most people think about building muscle, especially after the age of 50, the conversation almost always begins and ends with one word: protein, and for good reason. Protein provides the amino acids your body uses as raw materials to rebuild muscle tissue. But here's the truth: protein by itself is not enough, and that's a hard reality for many to accept, especially those who have spent years following the high-protein diet trend. Let's break this down. Imagine trying to build a house. Protein is like the bricks. It's the structural material, but bricks alone don't create a home. You need tools, a blueprint, workers, and energy to assemble everything correctly. That's where minerals come in. They're the unseen drivers of this entire process. They help activate the enzymes responsible for muscle synthesis. They guide the transportation of nutrients into muscle cells. And they regulate the hormones that control muscle building, recovery, and inflammation. Here's the catch: most people, especially those over 50, are deficient in these key minerals. I'm talking about magnesium, zinc, potassium, and calcium, not in mega doses, but in the precise amounts the body needs to operate efficiently. Without these minerals, your body can't turn the protein you're eating into usable muscle. It's like owning a construction site full of bricks, but no crew or machinery to put them together. Magnesium, for example, is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, many of which are directly tied to energy production and muscle function. Without adequate magnesium, your muscles can't contract or relax properly, and your cells can't produce the energy required to rebuild after resistance training. Zinc is crucial for testosterone production, which naturally declines with age but remains essential for preserving lean mass. Potassium helps regulate fluid balance inside muscle cells, which is critical for muscle fullness and repair. Calcium, often misunderstood as just a bone mineral, plays a vital role in muscle contractions and nerve signaling. The reality is, even a small deficiency in one of these minerals can have a ripple effect throughout your system. You might feel more fatigued after workouts, sore for longer, less motivated, or just frustrated that the effort you're putting in isn't giving you visible results. That's not just aging, it's a warning sign. It's your body's way of saying, I don't have the tools I need. There's also the issue of absorption. As we age, the gut becomes less efficient at absorbing both protein and minerals. Even if you're eating well, you may not be getting the full benefit, and this is where a lot of people get stuck. They increase protein intake, add more workouts, maybe even push harder, and then feel burned out or injured. They blame themselves, but the real issue isn't effort. It's missing the foundation, and that foundation is mineral balance. Now, think about how most people try to solve this. They double down on protein shakes, maybe start tracking macros, or buy expensive supplements promising muscle gains. But they rarely stop to ask, is my body actually equipped to use what I'm giving it? That's the more intelligent approach. That's where long-term success begins, because muscle isn't just about volume, it's about chemistry. So if you're eating enough protein, training consistently, and still not seeing the strength, definition, or recovery you expect, don't look harder, look deeper. Ask what's missing beneath the surface. Because until you restore the mineral foundation that supports the entire muscle building process, you're only working with part of the equation. Protein is the message, but minerals are the language your body uses to understand it. Let's talk about the mineral that sits quietly in the background, but plays one of the most critical roles in your body, especially when it comes to muscle growth after 50. That mineral is magnesium. Most people don't think of magnesium when they think of strength, recovery, or performance. But if you're over 50 and trying to build or maintain muscle, magnesium might just be the most important element you're overlooking. Magnesium is involved in hundreds of processes in the human body, and nearly all of them touch on systems that either support muscle growth directly or make recovery possible. It regulates how your muscles contract and relax. It supports ATP production, the energy currency of your cells, and it's essential for protein synthesis, which is the actual rebuilding of muscle fibers after stress or resistance training. Without it, you can't effectively absorb or utilize amino acids from the protein you're eating. That means your body can be flooded with nutrients but still unable to do anything meaningful with them. This becomes even more important with age. After 50, your body's hormonal profile changes, recovery slows. Inflammation increases, and muscle doesn't regenerate the way it did in your 30s or 40s. That's why magnesium is so critical. It's anti-inflammatory, it supports hormone balance, and it literally switches on the machinery of recovery. Without enough of it, everything starts to slow down, your energy drops, workouts feel harder, soreness lingers longer, and the results you're working for become harder to see, even though you're putting in just as much, if not more, effort. One of the things I see often is this confusion where people feel like they're doing everything right. They're lifting weights, eating clean, getting their protein, but something's still off, and the missing variable, more often than not, is magnesium. Research shows that more than 60% of adults over 50 are magnesium deficient, and it's not just about what you're eating. It's also about stress, sleep, medications, alcohol, and even caffeine. All of these things deplete magnesium levels quickly and quietly, often without obvious symptoms until the deficiency becomes serious. And here's another layer. Magnesium is essential for nervous system regulation. That means it plays a role not only in physical recovery but in mental recovery, in calming the system, improving sleep quality, reducing nighttime cortisol levels. You recover and build muscle not during the workout, but during sleep. If you're not sleeping deeply, if your nervous system is stuck in a state of tension, you're not recovering efficiently, and that's going to show up in your strength, your body composition, and how you feel day to day. The solution isn't just to randomly start taking a supplement. You have to understand how to bring magnesium into your daily routine in a way your body can absorb and use. Not all forms of magnesium are created equal. Some pass right through the body. The key is consistency, timing, and combining it with other supportive habits, like resistance training, protein, rich meals, and quality sleep. When it all works together, the results speak for themselves. You feel stronger, more energized, and your body starts to respond again the way it used to. That's not magic. That's biochemistry aligned with smart strategy. And magnesium is one of the key switches that turns that strategy on. There's another dimension to this conversation that most people miss entirely, and it has everything to do with one of the most powerful hormones in your body, testosterone. Now, testosterone isn't just about libido or male characteristics. It's one of the most critical drivers of muscle growth, strength, energy, and even mood. And as we age, testosterone levels naturally decline. But what many don't realize is that magnesium plays a massive role in how much testosterone is available and usable in the body, especially after 50. See, there's a difference between total testosterone and free testosterone. Total testosterone is the overall amount circulating in your bloodstream, but free testosterone is what your body can actually use, and this is where magnesium becomes a game changer. Magnesium helps prevent testosterone from binding to a protein called SHBG sex hormone, binding globulin. When too much testosterone gets bound up by SHBG, it becomes inactive, but when magnesium is present in optimal levels, it helps increase the percentage of free testosterone, which means more of it is available to help build muscle, enhance recovery, and even improve your drive and focus. What's fascinating is that studies have shown a clear correlation between magnesium levels and testosterone levels in men over 50. When magnesium intake goes up, either through food or supplementation, testosterone often rises alongside it, especially when paired with physical activity. In fact, one study showed that just 4 weeks of magnesium supplementation combined with resistance training led to a significant boost in testosterone, up to 26%. That's not a small shift. That's the kind of internal change that makes your workouts more productive, your recovery faster, and your results visible again. This isn't about shortcuts or hacks. It's about restoring a biological balance that once came easily, but now requires more attention. Magnesium isn't artificially boosting testosterone. It's helping your body unlock what it's already capable of producing. It's removing the barriers that aging puts in the way, and in doing so, it sets the stage for real muscle development, even in your 50s, 60s, and beyond. So if you've been feeling flat, if you've noticed a drop in strength, stamina, or drive, don't just assume it's aging. Ask whether your body has what it needs to support its own hormone system, because the difference can be night and day. One of the most frustrating things about magnesium is that even when you try to get enough of it, your body might still be running low. And that's not always because of what you're not eating. It's because of what's quietly draining it from your system every single day. There are certain habits and stressors that act like a leak in the system, pulling magnesium out faster than you can put it back in. Let's start with stress. Chronic stress is one of the biggest magnesium thieves. When you're under stress, physical, emotional, even low-grade day-to-day tension, your body releases cortisol, your primary stress hormone. This cortisol response causes magnesium to be excreted through the kidneys. And the more stress you're under, the faster your magnesium reserves drop. Add in things like caffeine, which a lot of people rely on to stay energized, and now you're depleting even more. Caffeine increases urinary loss of magnesium. The same goes for alcohol. Even 1 or 2 drinks per night over time can strip away the mineral foundation your muscles need to grow and recover. Medications play a role too. Many commonly prescribed drugs, such as diuretics, blood pressure meds, and even certain antacids, reduce magnesium absorption or increase how quickly it's flushed from the body. And if you layer this on top of the fact that soil today is significantly less mineral-rich than it was 50 years ago, the foods we eat, even the healthy ones, contain far less magnesium than they used to. So what can you do about it? First, be intentional with your food choices. Focus on whole, magnesium-rich foods like spinach, pumpkin seeds, almonds, dark chocolate, black beans, and avocados. But even with a good diet, supplementation becomes important, especially after 50. The key is choosing a form your body can actually absorb. Magnesium glycinate and magnesium citrate are 2 of the most bioavailable forms. Avoid cheap options like magnesium oxide. They're poorly absorbed and often cause digestive issues. Timing matters too. Taking magnesium in the evening can not only support muscle repair, but also help with sleep quality, which is another major pillar of recovery. If you train hard or experience high stress during the day, taking magnesium post-work out can also make a big difference in how your body repairs itself. The goal isn't just to add magnesium, it's to protect it. Because once you stop the leak and restore the foundation, everything else, your energy, your recovery, your strength, starts to shift upward. If you're over 50 and you want to rebuild muscle, regain energy, and feel stronger than you have in years, you don't need a complex program. You need a simple, daily protocol that works with your body, not against it. And it all starts with understanding how the right elements come together: nutrition, movement, recovery, and mineral support. Start with your diet. You don't need excessive amounts of protein, but you do need enough, ideally from clean, whole food sources. Combine that with anti-inflammatory foods rich in fiber, healthy fats, and micronutrients. Think leafy greens, fatty fish, nuts, seeds, and berries. What you're doing is not just feeding the muscle. You're lowering inflammation so your body can use the nutrients you give it more effectively. And this is where magnesium steps in as the linchpin. When your magnesium levels are restored, every bite of protein you eat becomes more impactful. The synthesis process becomes more efficient, and your muscles become more responsive. Then comes movement. Resistance training 3 to 4 times a week is the sweet spot. You're not trying to crush your body, you're stimulating it. Short, focused workouts with compound movements. Things like squats, rows, presses. Create the kind of demand that tells your body, we need muscle here. And with magnesium in your system, your recovery improves, soreness shortens, and your performance steadily builds. This is especially true as your testosterone starts to stabilize, your sleep improves, and your inflammation decreases, all effects tied to adequate mineral levels. Next is recovery, and this is the part most people underestimate. Deep, high-quality sleep is where your body heals and grows. Without it, your workouts and diet won't translate into real results. Magnesium, when taken in the evening, helps calm the nervous system, reduce nighttime cortisol, and support deep sleep cycles. You wake up less inflamed, more energized, and ready to perform again. That recovery window is where your real growth happens. So you've got 3 pillars now: eat intentionally, train strategically, and recover deeply. And what holds all of them together is magnesium. It's the activator, the regulator, and the amplifier. It doesn't replace protein, training, or sleep, but it makes all of them work better. If you commit to this protocol, you'll start to feel a shift, not just in your body, but in your mindset. You won't just be slowing aging, you'll be reversing it from the inside out. So here's the truth: after 50, building muscle isn't just about eating more protein or lifting heavier weights. It's about working smarter, understanding what your body truly needs to function at its best, and at the center of that equation is a mineral most people overlook: magnesium. It fuels your recovery, supports your hormones, enhances nutrient absorption, and turns your effort into results. This isn't about chasing youth, it's about reclaiming control, because when your body has what it needs, it responds. No matter your age, it's never too late to get stronger, sharper, and more alive than you've felt in years. The key is already inside you. You just have to unlock it.